Alright, today's quick hit video, we are doing Temur Rhinos, one of the decks that showed up a little bit in surprising numbers, although it does seem to have fairly good numbers against Scam and Omnath, the top two decks in the Pro Tour coming up. This in maybe in the past, actually, by the time this video airs. But Rhinos, fairly simplistic deck. This is one of the two tempo decks really in the format, besides Murktide. Shardless Agent, Violent Outburst, Cascade. You have no other cards in your deck that technically cost less than 3, so you always cascade into Crashing Footfalls, which puts two 4/4 Rhinos into play. Then, beyond that, you're just kind of a tempo mid-range deck, using things like Force of Negation and Subtlety to buy yourself some time, Mystical Dispute to fight over things like Teferi or opposing main deck counterspells, Dead Gone and Fire Ice to buy yourself some time against aggressive starts from opponents, and then Ice can also tap down your opponent's mana sources. Lorien Revealed, kind of a newer card to the deck, really just helps cut down on land drops, while also being a mid to late game card that helps you refuel a little bit. Fury, along with the ones on the sideboard, good against the tribal decks, as well as any type of creature decks. So, bring this in against Hammer, Burn, Yawgmoth, etc. And then, Murktide Regent, because you're a tempo deck, why not play it? Especially when your Cascade cards, especially Violent Outburst, are putting 2 instants and sorceries in the graveyard. Sideboard, Leyline Void, Endurance, Living End's a bit of a nightmare. Blood Moon helps against Tron, Amulet, big mana decks. Force of Vigor is your anti-artifact enchantment pairing, whether that be Urza Sagas, opposing Blood Moons, Tron, etc. Also get decent against Amulet, and then obviously the Furies we've already kind of covered are very good against decks like Yawgmoth and helping to buy time against decks like Burn. So that is your overview. You do get to play Boseiju and Wario on your mana base, 2 islands, 1 forest, bunch of dual lands and fetches, the 1 Triome, because you really don't play much on 1 generally unless you're casting a Mystical Dispute or Dead Gone. So, and also cycling with your Lorien Revealed. So, deck has a lot to do. It seems fairly well positioned, at least this coming weekend in the Pro Tour. It is a deck that has been relatively on the numbers decline, but seems like it's well positioned in the current, or at least in the condensed meta of the Pro Tour. So, a deck you should definitely be on the lookout for. And maybe, just maybe, you'll have a good showing at the Pro Tour and come back and force in this one-ring Bowmaster world that we're living in. So, let's get into the match. Alright, we're back with a quick hit with Modern Rhinos. Yeah, this hand's pretty reasonable. We'll keep... So, kind of hard currently to borrow any of the Orcish Bowmasters or that kind of nonsense, so... Okay, looks like we're up against Prowess or something. Go grab. Yes, don't really like shocking in here, but hopefully they don't have Mutagenic Growth, which looks like they do. Okay. So my opponent need to buy some time, MTG, buy some time. See if they put it on top of their library. Okay. Their Soulscar Mage. That hits us for 1 land. Alright, and pass. with one card in hand. Do they attack? They do. I know. Okay. And our opponent concedes. Alright, so definitely want the Furies. Not really a Force of Vigor matchup, not really a Blood Moon matchup. Endurance is middling. That's potentially a blocker against them, but Mystical Dispute, probably the worst card in our deck. One Endurance maybe. First bad mana leak, a Blood Moon, or Endurance. I guess we'll bring in Endurance. Six mana, Murktide Regent. Yep, that's going to be a mulligan. Okay, this hand is pretty reasonable. Bring back one of the... Hunt is on Jeskai. And pass. Sure. It is pump it up. Alright, take a hit for 2 and like it. Go get basic forest here. Sure. Fortunately, you're not really going to get to see what we got. But for whatever reason, holding up. This for 2. Place down your blue source. Casting Fury. They have Spell Pierce to boot too. We'll find out in a second. Apparently they do. As well as a second blue source. Okay. Kind of hard to beat all this, unfortunately. At least that's a ton of damage we're not taking, but still. So, Jeskai Prowess. Interesting. Yeah, that's more of a reason to bring on Endurance, I suppose. What did I do? Cast that just to literally miss Rose Bubble once? Doesn't seem like the best use of resources. Okay, basic island. 1, 2, 3. Leave a 6/6 on defense. Hope that's good enough. Okay. No attacks. Okay. I'll try them. Okay, and continue to pass. Subtlety. Nothing to put on the stack, but it is at least an attacker. Interesting. They were actually considering bolting or something with subtlety there. Got the exile on top of everything? It goes to 7. Sure. All right, and we got there. Nice.